Well, hello, my name is Steve, and I'm the director of Community College Ministry Network. And our vision is a disciple-making movement on every community college campus. And our strategy is to equip you to make disciples and reach campus with the gospel. Just a reminder, all of our ministry is free of charge, as we are funded by generous people passionate about our vision. So this is part 4 of 4, how to start a campus ministry on the community college campus near you. So today is focused on developing leaders. So you can see here in the picture, the guy in the center there is a friend of mine named Dylan. And this is about maybe 7 years ago at Hancock College in Santa Maria. And Dylan was not a student at Hancock College. He, in fact, was a student at Cuesta College in San Luis Obispo, which is about a half-hour drive north. Um, and Dylan, I was discipling Dylan. He was very involved in our Cuesta College ministry. And he knew that I was doing campus ministry at Hancock College. And he said to me, Steve, I have a free day on, I think it was Wednesday. I have a free day on Wednesday. Can I join you doing campus ministry at Hancock College? And I said, I would love that. That sounds great. And so this is Dylan doing our mobile version of the Solarium survey. And so if you remember the Solarium cards from session 1 training on discovering spiritual interest, students come up to a table and ask what it is, and it's a spiritual survey, and we lead them through a few questions using the Solarium pictures. And so another option is to grab the whole deck or a half of them or a portion of them and go find students who are just hanging out outside, for example, and look like they have time to chat. And so that's what Dylan and I did. And I snapped this picture. So we had a great conversation with these guys, and Dylan led the way. And that's the goal. It's teaching students and other leaders how to make disciples on campus, how to share the gospel, how to have spiritual conversations, etc. So, a few principles for developing leaders. One is your leaders will be the ones that you or your volunteers are discipling. As simple as that. So, leadership comes out of being discipled. So, number 2 is the process. So discipling them means that you have a process and a strategy for them to multiply by discipling others as well. So, in other words, to help them, they're knowing Christ, growing in their faith, and going and sharing their faith with others. And so you're teaching them how to discover spiritual interest on campus, how to follow up with students and share the gospel, how to help another student grow in their faith by doing a one thing study or a discovery study, as I mentioned earlier. And so you're telling them these things that I've taught you, I've done with you, now just go do it for someone else. So very simple tools for them to know, grow, and go. Simple tools for them to help someone else to know, grow, and go, to make disciples. So number 3 is let the Holy Spirit raise up leaders. So it's essential to keep disciple making at the core of your ministry. So don't call students leaders until they're actively engaged in the know, grow, go process, until they're engaged in going and helping other students to know Christ and grow in their faith and go make disciples. So in other words, leaders lead, but before they're called leaders. So that's an important principle. And number 4 is modeling. What you do for your students, for your disciples, is what they will do for others. So how you disciple is how they will disciple. So train them in Solarium and in discipling others by modeling it to them, by discipling them. Don't tell them how to make disciples. Instead, disciple them. And then at some point, maybe after a few months, you're just saying, hey, what I did for you, you do for someone else. And that's the key, modeling. So simple steps to develop leaders. Number 1, discover spiritual interest on campus. That was part 1. Solarium table for about 2 hours a week. Immediately follow up with interested students, sharing the gospel, doing one thing study. And then simple disciple making. Disciple a few interested students, life on life. And then build community around those that you're discipling. Consider a weekly meeting, for example. And then number 4, develop leaders by discipling them and inviting them to disciple others. And just one more thing, a key thing for that, for developing leaders, is just encouraging them to join you in doing the Solarium table and train them, teach them how to lead someone else in the spiritual survey. And you can see on the picture on the right, that's a handful of the leaders, our student leaders at Hancock College several years ago. My experience is after being on campus a few months and discipling a few students, a student or two will stand out above the rest because they're so hungry spiritually. And they go out of their way to be available when I'm on campus, and they jump at the chance to spend time with me. And so I invest heavily in them. I disciple them. I disciple them through the Know, Grow, Go process. And then, only then, will I ask them if they want to be leaders. So that's the end. Developing leaders as part 4, how to start a campus ministry on the community college campus near you. So I just want to remind you that we are here to help. Training Tools and Tribe. More info can be found at, more resources can be found at ccministry.network.org. I do Zoom calls to help train. I can take you through the training that you've just been through, answer questions. We would love to help you in any way we can. And we also send an evangelism box to you containing all the stuff you will need to reach the campus. Thanks again, and I look forward to meeting you in person someday.